How's it going, Driven by Bass? Today I'm going to be taking you guys through installing this speaker box system, and we're going to be building the amp rack for it to go along with my subwoofer in my 2011 Mazda 3. So this speaker box consists of two 8-inch PL8 speakers. They are rated for 200 watts each at 8 ohm impedance. And they are paired with these SHCA Pro 1-inch tweeters. These are rated for 120 watts RMS at 4 ohms apiece. These are my subwoofers. They are Power Acoustic Gothic. They are rated for 1200 watts RMS apiece. This is going to be powering my subwoofers. It is a Pioneer GM D9701 Class D mono block amplifier. This is rated for 2400 watts max RMS. This thing's gonna push some serious power. Right over here, this is gonna be what's powering the speaker box. It's a 520 watt Pioneer amplifier, a 4-channel amplifier. I have a couple different connections here, power, ground, and then it is 4-channel. Next, we have this PRV DSP 2.8X. This will be gathering the signal in through here, then it'll compute it, and this will be output number 1 to the bass, output number 2 to the mids, and output number 3 to the highs. And we have a spare output here. This will be controlling all of the audio. So this cap is going to allow me to run all of this power without damaging the battery or without needing an external battery or an upgraded alternator. Finally, these two power distribution blocks. This allows me to get 1 power wire from the cap and give me 4 outputs for each of the amps and the DSP. So this is the amp rack. This is the board. It's just some plywood, and I'm going to configure it to see how to run it the best way. So what we need to do is grab power and ground is going to come into here first, then run it to here, and then run it to each of the 3. Then RCAs are going to run into here and then run into each of the 2. So I'm going to wire it up into a way that looks the best. Alright, so this is the layout that I've come up with. I think this is going to be the best option. So first the power is going to come into here, and then it's going to run to the distribution blocks and then run outwards this way. And then RCA is going to come in from here. This is the input, and then the outputs are going to run along the bottom here. Alright, so this is seeming the best layout that I could find. I'm going to use some screws that I found here. These are square Robinson bits, and I'm just going to screw them in. Alright guys, so now I screwed in all the components. They're all locked in there tight. Now we're gonna start with wiring them up. Alright guys, so I'm gonna start wiring this up. This is the ground wire. It's gonna come out of here and go into here. I'm just gonna put you guys on another time lapse, and you guys can watch me as I work through this. Alright, so I've got all the ground wire ran from capacitator to the 2 amps. Now I'm gonna run the power wire. So what I have on the ends here, if you can see inside, are these wire frills, and you put them on, and then as you put them inside the slot, it crimps it down and it'll hold it tight. And then on this one, I have these style connectors that you put on, and you have to use a crimp tool. So I don't know if you saw in the time lapse, use this big old crimp tool. You put it in and squeeze it. And yeah, I'm gonna keep working doing the power wire next. I also have my younger brother here helping me out. He's rewiring the speakers that go inside the box to make the ohm load lower. Alright, so in this process, I'm going to show you how I put this heat shrink on the edge of the wires to make it come out neater. So what you need is a blowtorch. This allows you to heat it up. I don't have a heat gun. That would be easier to use. I'm going to slide it on to the wire terminal. You're going to turn on the propane and light it up. A little more gas. It's on there nice and neat. And I can continue installing them. Alright, so now I have it all wired up, power, ground, all the connection wires, and I have the RCAs, but the RCAs are a bit too long here at the bottom and they're not adjustable, so I'm gonna drill some holes and then I'm gonna stick a zip tie through it so it can hold it. Alright, so the amp board is completed. I have all the wiring done. I have all of these wires taped up so they look nice and clean. Yeah, ready to install in the car now. So this is the old amplifier that I've had in there. It's only rated for 1500 watts. This is gonna be the new one, which is rated for 2400 watts. So it's gonna be a big power upgrade. Do some cleaning up in the back here. All these wires tangled up, the side section. So we'll get to that and come back to you guys. Alright, so this is how it's sitting in the back of the car. I have it all wired up now. See the power and ground wire going into the capacitor. The RCA is going into the DSP, and the final thing is this, the middle wire here. That's the connection for the remote turn on wire. And now it's all plugged in, wired in. I'm gonna plug in the speakers, load them in, and see how it goes. So one of the last steps that I have to do here is install this line out converter. So this takes the signal from the speaker wire and turns it into a low level output, which is the RCA. So I used to have on my old amp setup, I could just straight wire it to the amp, but for this I had to run that line output converter. So let me show you what I did. So we come here, and underneath the seat, the passenger footwell, there's a stock amplifier. So this sends signal to all the speakers in the car from the radio. I tapped in here, and you see that's the line out converter there, and I soldered all the connections for each speaker wire, so for each signal. But yeah, this is what it looks like. See here at the bottom, this is where the RCAs are gonna go to. And yeah, I'm just working on running that through the car now and wiring it up. I'm also gonna tape these connections as well. Oh, also, if you're gonna be doing this, before you unplug these, make sure you disconnect the battery, or else you could fry the amp or fry your stock radio. Alright guys, so I'm currently in the car and I'm taking apart this center console and this dash area, and I have to take it apart so I can get the wires through the middle, through the center here, and through here on this side. So first what I have to do is take apart the cup holder tray, and then this whole piece all around here will come out over the handbrake. That should open up some screws underneath for me to get to. Alright, so now I got that piece off, and it's kind of gross in here. Very greasy and grimy. I got some change down in here, and I think a lighter back there, but what I need here is there's a plug inside the armrest, a cigarette lighter. I have this charger plug in here, but one of these is inside the center console. This is the plug for it, and I have to tap into that to get power because I'll be installing an equalizer. I want it to sit right here or here, I don't know yet. Alright, so I'm in the back seat here. We have this RCA cable is coming from the line output converter. I have this center console here, it's just a little bit loose, so I can pull the cord underneath. So this is gonna go directly into the equalizer sitting right here, and then from the equalizer it's gonna take that input and give you two outputs. So that gives you this RCA cable, which I've already run to the back. This is a 4-channel RCA, and I've already ran it behind here and underneath here. It's all tucked away nice and hidden. And as you get into the back, pull up right here, I have the board sitting in there mocking it up. Finally got this wired in now. Turn the car in accessory mode, and right now it's off because I have it wired to a switch right here, which is wired to this fuse. It's to the remote turn on wire, so that goes all the way. Hit the switch and it turns on, off, on, and the whole system turns off and on by this switch now. Alright, so I've had this in here for a couple days, and I don't really like how we wired this earlier. I'm gonna try and fix it now. See how it's all separate? It's all a bunch of just tangled up mess. So what I'm gonna do here is I have this measured out to 10 feet. I'm gonna cut and splice and twist these all out to 10 feet long, and I have to do it 4 times to put it together. And then I'm gonna twist it together and put it all on one plug. So you guys can watch me do this. I can put you on another time lapse. Alright, so a little update for you guys. I twisted the wires together and put it on loom. That's what you guys saw in the time lapse. I'm gonna start wiring these up. Alright, so now I'm gonna be rewiring the box. This is the back of the box, and I'm gonna be putting in one of these plugs, and it's gonna sit right here, okay? And then on the other end of that is gonna be the wire that I made. So attached to this is gonna be this, and this plugs directly this. So I'm gonna be able to unplug and plug in the box. All right guys, so now I'm gonna show you what I have completed done to the car. I have the line out converter plugged in underneath the seat there, and then I have the RCAs coming through the armrest underneath the bottom, and it comes up there. I don't know if you can see it. And into this equalizer, I have control of the subwoofer, regular volume, fader, and all of this adjustability for each level. Down here is bass, this is mids, and these are high. So I can customize to each song level. And then I have RCAs coming out of that 4-channel RCA. You can see it right there. here, coming underneath the seat and running down this way, all through the car and to the back. So now I have the seats laid down so I can show you guys. I have the amp board here. It's all wired up, all connected. I have the loom wire that I made going into the box. And this is how it sits in the car. The mid-high box facing in towards the cabin. So as you can see there on the DSP, I have the presets in the blue. That means that it's live, so that's the mids and the highs. The red means it's not live. I have 4 extra channels there that I could be using. So maybe in the future some more speakers, who knows. I'm gonna do an in-car demo now and you guys can hear it. Now I'm gonna turn the bass up here on the bass knob. Put that up halfway right there. Let's see. Alright guys, thanks for tuning into DBB, driven by bass. That was the mid-box and amp rack install. Next video, it'll probably be me upgrading that amp there. 520 watts is not enough, that's max power. I'm gonna need an amp that pushes 1000 watts RMS. And then you'll hear these speakers really scream. Thanks again for watching guys, peace out.